welcome back to Up the Villa. The games are coming thick and fast. A different competition now with Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup. Let's get stuck into it. Joined by Justin. How are you?
Very good, mate. Very good. Yes, I'm getting bogged down with these competitions and games and everything now. It's what we want now, isn't it? It's what it's
Yeah,
all about.
definitely. I thought I'd do something a little bit different at the start of this, Justin.
Oh
And
God.
I've got a game to play,
Oh
and I
no.
want you guys at home to play along with me. We've got
Talk
three
about throwing me
sections.
under the bus straight away.
Oh no, I haven't even told Justin about this.
Oh
Right,
God.
Justin.
This is going to end
Right.
badly.
So at home, play along for each section. Justin, I've got a long list of players right in
Yeah.
front of me.
Yeah.
And I want you to name as many Allens
Oh
that have played for Aston Villa that you
God.
can. All right.
How many is there?
No, well, I've got a long list here, but you can I just want to know how many you know, and I want at home for you to know as well. So, how many Allens do you know
How
that have
far back
played
we
for
going?
Villa? I'll go back before the war, mate. So I got a lot. Right, take it away.
Uh, Alan Thompson,
Yes, well done. That's your first one.
Alan Wright.
Spot on. Well done. You got two so far.
That's not bad, is it? Alan Evans.
Yes, well done.
I'm trying to. Alan. Christ, Alan Wright, Alan Evans. Oh, I've got three and I'm struggling.
Well, there's
Alan
one.
Curbishley.
Yes, that was a shock for me. You know, I was like, really? Um, I'll give you a clue. There's a big one that scored a big goal for Villa. You are on the spot, so I imagine you are going to struggle
Oh,
somewhat.
big, a big, a
Big
big
goal,
golfer.
big goal. Yeah, Alan. Right, I'm gonna have to give you. I'll give you
What's the?
couple.
Give me the initials. Alan A. What?
Alan H. Come on, so obvious. You're gonna kick yourself.
My my
Right,
brain's just
we're gonna have to move on
Alan
to the next player. Alan
Hutton.
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 Yes. Right.
Alan.
Right, we're gonna move on now. Right. So you could have had. I don't know any of these myself. I'd be shocking. We've got Alan Baker, Alan
No,
Jones, Alan Lee,
no,
Alan Little.
no.
Oh, you should know this one.
Alan
Alan
Little, Brian,
McInally,
brother. Oh,
Alan
McInally. That
McInally,
was. Yeah, yeah.
Alan McLaughlin,
Alan
Alan
McLaughlin,
O'Neill. That's it. That's
midfielder.
it. Okay, right. Your next name is Jimmy. Jimmy is your next name.
Right, Jimmy Rimmer.
Yeah, well done.
Jimmy. You
These are
can have
solid.
Jim.
These are. No,
How many has he
no.
got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They are, they are,
13 Jimmies.
they are old. They are old, I think.
At this
Majority of
point,
them.
everybody's just screaming at the laptop that they're going, Jimmy.
Right, I'll give you a clue. Jimmy Crab.
Tree.
Yes. Well
Mm.
done. You got that one. Would you know this one?
There can't be many modern Jimmies.
No. This one's solid. I think you might do better in the next one. So we could have Jimmy Adam, Jimmy Allen, Jimmy Birch, Jimmy Cantrell, Doug Dale. Do you know Doug Dale?
Jimmy Dugdale, yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy Harrison, Jimmy Lawrence, Jimmy Murray, Jimmy Stevenson, Jimmy Warner, Jimmy Whitehouse. No, these are solid.
No,
Right, next one. There's
very hard.
only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 in the last one. So,
God.
Ian.
Tyler.
Yes. First one.
Ian.
I
Ian.
think you should do quite good on this one.
Ian.
Yeah.
Ian. Ormond Droid.
Yes. That's a good one. I knew you'd get that one.
That was in my time.
Yeah.
Ian.
Oh, you should get this one. I know you should get this one.
Go on.
Hat. Hamilton. Hamilton.
Ian Chico Hamilton.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
Chico
that's it.
Hamilton. Ian
Right.
Chico Hamilton, yeah.
Right. Ian. Right. We signed one this season. Come on.
My brain is totally screwed. Ian, this season?
Yeah.
Ian Matson.
Yes.
Christ. I'm getting absolutely hammered on the...
right.
Ian... There was an older one. Ian Roth.
Yes. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Got that one. So you could have Ian Dixon or Ian Olney.
Ian Olney.
Yeah.
Loved Ian Olney. He scored 2 goals in a 6-2 Villa win against Everton.
Right, that's woke Justin up ready for this episode then. So it'll be interesting at home to see who you come up with and if you know any of those. Really tested you. So Wycombe in the Carabao Cup, Justin. And the biggest question I'm probably gonna ask you, and I think it's a big question. How serious is the Carabao Cup for Aston Villa this season?
I think for the club, priority-wise, it's probably the 4th most important competition. For me, personally, it's up there with the most important competition. I totally understand the league is priority because that gets you qualification again next year for European competition. The kudos of the Champions League is unbelievable, and we are obviously going to take that incredibly seriously. But the 2 domestic competitions, the League Cup and the FA Cup, give us the best chance to win a trophy. And I said at the start of the season, in the preview, it's time for Villa to start winning trophies. And this is a trophy we can 100% win. It's just such a shame that when you are a successful, very good side, and by default of being a very good side, you qualify for the Champions League. That's what makes you a very good side. And that then puts you in a position where you have to prioritise other competitions over a competition that is realistic for us to go and actually win. So it's very difficult. So I think the clubs that have won it over the last few years have generally been the bigger sides. And they've managed to navigate the earlier rounds with squads, good squads. And then when it's come down to the quarters, semis and finals, they then take it far more seriously. Now, the problem we've had is we've been knocked out too early to get to the point where when it starts to become more of a priority for us. So if we can navigate 3 rounds with a shadow squad, if you like, the players are on the bench currently, and get to the latter stages, and then I think the priority for this competition will suddenly start to increase. So for me, it's about getting through the next 2 or 3 rounds, and then I think when Wembley's in sight and when the silverware is there to be touched, then it becomes a massive priority for the club. For me, said it at the start of the season, I almost would win this. I think I probably would win this over going to the latter stage of the Champions League, but not winning that. I know that sounds a bit weird, but if you offered me say quarterfinals of the Champions League or winning the League Cup, I'd win the League Cup.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's always, that saying, like, look, it's always luck of the draw, isn't it? Like what you're saying, if we got fluky with a draw, and we were playing some decent teams, and then when you're saying
Yeah,
like you get to say quarter semi, that you start playing, you're near enough a full strength team, then I think it's like the way to go, isn't it? But it's like we could sit here now and we can be like, I really want to take this seriously. I really want to win this. But we are going to predict the lineup. But we know full well there's going to be about 8 changes into this lineup.
at least.
And we've got a really good squad. So we
Yeah.
can rotate well, which is good. But,
That gives me hope this year that we can go further in this competition, because our backup sides in the last few years that we've had to put out in this competition, for whatever reason, haven't been good enough, and we've took our eye off the ball, I think, to a point. Emery's first cup game, wasn't it? That home League Cup game
Stevenage.
we lost. Yeah,
That's FA Cup, weren't it?
FA Cup, yes, sorry. Those kind of things, I don't foresee those things happening now. I just don't. Everybody's so well drilled out. Whatever team we put out Tuesday night, I fancy us to beat them fairly comfortably. We should do, really.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I don't know anything about Wycombe. Like I have not. I don't watch Wycombe. I've got to be honest. But they are currently sitting ninth in League One. They've played 6 matches. They've scored 12 goals. They've conceded 10. They're scoring 2 goals a game. They are averaging 50.2% possession. They've got a passing accuracy of 71%. Their last game, they beat Cambridge. They've beat Northampton. They've lost to Blues as well in a 3-2. From what I can see, they set up in a 4-2-3-1. And you can see that the average positions are here. So number 24, number 24, Kone. You've got 2 fullbacks that are pushing on. And they look like they are pretty attacking. I always remember as a kid, and I was speaking to my mum about this today actually, and I was like, do you remember when we played Wycombe and we was listening to it in the kitchen? And like how many years ago that is, but I always remember like going in the kitchen and like we were losing to Wycombe and we ended up winning the game. Was it 8-3? And I had a look, and I wanted to have a look at this game because I just got this weird memory in my head of this game, to be fair, like listening to it on the radio in the kitchen. But basically, the team that we had was Sorensen, Samuel, Hughes, Ridgewell, Cahill, Barry, Milner, Davis, Berger, Barros, Angel, and we got Melberg and Taylor on the bench. There was 5,365 at their stadium. We've got David O'Leary as the manager, and Aston Villa scored 7 second-half goals after trailing 3-1 at half-time. Do you remember that game, Justin?
Yeah, very, very vividly, yeah. Thinking, my God, we've dug ourselves into a hole here. And then that second half was just one of them massive freak occurrences, wasn't it? That I think everything they hit went in. A couple of penalties went in. Strange games. I think that one and the Blackburn home game as well in the semi-final. That's 2 very strange, games in this
Do
competition.
you remember Doncaster away?
Yeah.
I think we lost, didn't we? I always remember that one for some reason as well.
They're banana skin games, aren't they? We got nothing to gain from this game at all. With everybody looking at us, thinking Villa should go there and beat them comfortably. 2, 3, 4. That's what should happen. So it's about getting through, minimal collateral damage, getting plenty of the players that haven't had minutes, resting the players that have had a lot of minutes already, and getting through. I'd just navigate these early rounds and get through to the last stages, because nobody remembers where you finish in the league in 20 years' time, but everybody remembers 94 and 96, and it's about time we put 2025 on the calendar.
Oh, I love that, Justin. Love that. Right. Now, I've got a team written down here, and it's looks pretty strong to me, right? But the defense is an area that we are probably going to talk about now. So in the comment section, I want you to put your teams in there, what you would go with. Let's go with the defense first then, Justin. So I imagine we can all agree that Gouch is in goal.
I mean, spoiler alert, if I was the manager, I would possibly change all 11.
Yeah, well, the problem that I've had already thinking about this is I actually don't think we can change all 11.
Okay.
I've got a team. I've got a team
Personnel
here
wise,
now.
yeah.
I've got a team here now that's got 8 changes from the one
Okay.
at the weekend. So, what would your back four be?
Well, mine would have been the Djokovic,
Yeah, I've agreed with that.
Matson.
Yeah, I've put Matson in.
And obviously, from Saturday, you're not going to
Mhm.
change all 11. I've just realised my mistake already by saying that because Carlos started, didn't he? So,
Yeah.
yeah, Carlos, and I'd be tempted to give Bogard a run out at centre half, which is his
Okay.
position.
Yeah. I
Or,
haven't got Bogard in. I've got Swinkles in.
yeah, I mean, he's been on the bench quite a bit lately, and I do like Silswinkles. I think he's a good player. I mean, we're not going to see Mings or Kamari yet. We're just not. I'll be very surprised. I mean, there might be an outside chance that one of them might make the bench. I don't know. We hasn't even spoken about them anywhere near being back in matchday squads and stuff. So I'll be amazed if either of them make the matchday squad. I don't know. Are they further along than we actually think?
Well,
I don't know.
I've put Swinkles in because I think Bogard plays on the right, doesn't he? So he's the
Um,
right-sided centre half.
yeah.
Predominantly, he's now playing right
So
back
we
because
could
that's
change all 11 then, because Bogard could play to the Carlos.
yeah. But then
But would he go?
putting a centre half of Swinkles and Bogard, it's a bit risky, isn't it? So
It
that
is,
I
yeah,
mean
it is.
that's what I've gone with because I just think that
Okay, I'm
everyone's
happy
in
with
their
that.
position, right?
We'll accept
Okay,
that one,
right.
yeah. Go on then. I'll
So
give you that.
basically, I've also got written down that Mings is going to be on the bench, and Mings is going to get 5 minutes.
I wouldn't be
That's in my head.
surprised. Yeah, possibly, possibly. I say the only
Yeah,
thing that would lead me to say not that he hasn't even been spoken about yet, has he? So I
yeah,
think you know,
yeah.
I
Right.
think a couple of behind doors friendlies maybe
Yeah,
first. He might maybe even turn out for the 21s, half a game for
yeah.
the 21s,
Okay.
possibly.
Right. So I've got a double pivot of Barkley and Onana.
Yeah, I think Barkley starts.
Yeah. So Barkley.
Who?
Because I just think now this McGinn injury now
Yes,
means
it's
that
thrown. Yeah,
midfield now, one of for me, Tielemans or Onana would have to start. And I think Onana came off at half time pretty much. Tielemans is playing every game, isn't he? And I think there's two players.
do
No,
you-
yeah, there's two players for me that need to sit out this game. One of them is Tielemans.
yes. Do you see a potential for trying something out in these games? By that I mean because we because we have lost McGinn, and I would think he probably would want to maybe rest Anana. What about throwing, say, a Ramsey in? I know that's not. I'm just putting this out there as a thought idea, not so much as I think it could happen. But we know that he likes to have players playing in multiple positions.
Mhm.
You know, if Barkley sits maybe with two in front of him instead of having two in the six, but obviously his lack of changing our way of playing at all probably wouldn't make that happen. So, could Ramsey play there? Do you think potentially he could? Has he got the discipline to play in the six?
Yeah, I think
Or
he.
does he
I
bring
think
an
he.
under 21 in to play there that
Mm,
plays there? You know,
yeah, he could do.
I'll throw one at you.
Go on then.
Todd Alcock,
Yeah,
captain of the under
no,
21s,
yeah, no. I think we've watched him
plays the
quite a lot,
double
haven't we?
pivot.
So yeah, I mean that it is an option. It is an option, and I think he could potentially do something like that. Yeah.
I'll message him after
Um,
this and ask him.
okay, cool. Right. So who's on the right and who's on the left, Justin?
Bailey starts, doesn't he? He needs
Yeah, I
minutes, doesn't
agree.
he?
Yeah. And I think the problem with that right side is there's no Jaden yet.
No.
So it would have been ideal for Jaden. He had a knock or something, Emery said.
It's a
Like,
shame, isn't it? Because this game
so
would
it
be
doesn't.
absolutely perfect for him.
So what are we saying? Like a dead leg, or are we
Possibly.
saying, So yeah,
A
frustrating. I
minor
mean, you
strain
could
or a minor pull.
you could say he could go Caden Young, but again, it's a big call in it to put
Yeah.
a start for Caden Young. So left side, what you going with?
Well, my left side is dictated by who I think's playing in the other two
Mm,
positions.
okay,
So
go on then. Give me your
I
three
think
then.
it's Duran
Yeah,
and um, and Buendia, which
yeah, I
means
agree.
that it's going to be Ramsey on the left.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think
just
Rogers probably needs a break,
yeah. He's the other one. Yeah.
but Rogers
So
needs a goal. So he would probably see this as an opportunity to maybe get one or two goals, couple of assists, whatever.
yeah, I mean, he got his 2 assists at the weekend though.
Yeah, yeah. He needs a goal, doesn't
Yeah. I think that is the exact team that I've got written down here, Justin. So I think we've both agreed on it. Because I just think, it, even though we've got the depth that we've got a good team and a good bench and that, but the problem we've got is that if you've got sort of like no Kamara, you've got no Matty Cash,
he? Mm.
no McGinn, that does mean that your sort of rotation slightly here is a little bit forced in certain areas. So
And do you think he will flood the bench with maybe two or three first teamers, and then the rest will be 21s? And then that way
um,
he gives himself that option. So let's say he throws Tielemans, um, Watkins, and maybe I don't know another attacker on the bench, and then he puts the kids in there. And then if it does go a bit wrong, he throws the experienced players on. But if it goes really well and we find ourselves in a really strong position in the game, two or three up, we can throw some of the kids in and get a minute.
yeah, I mean that team there is like it's not like what you've seen in the past, is it? From like heavily
Nah.
rotated Villa teams where Um, I remember when we played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, we went out on penalties and we'd left Watkins on. Had we started Archer or something? And
Mm.
that you're relying on sort of like Watkins to come on off the bench, and you're looking at that there. I mean, Ramsey, Duran, Bailey, Buendia, Barkley, Onana. I mean that's controlling a game at Wycombe.
Yeah, I mean that looks a strong side. Maybe we've over egged it. Maybe he's going to go more kids. Maybe he'll throw a few 21s in. I think there's an opportunity maybe to do that, but I want to see him go like that because I think Duran needs a start, Bailey needs minutes, Buendia's on his
Yeah,
way back to fitness, Barkley, needs minutes, probably won't play the full game. I feel a bit for Anana because I think he could do with the rest, but as we've just said, we are limited in that position unless he switches, like I say, one of the players that doesn't really play there or brings one of the 21s in. Matheson needs a start. Nijalkovic needs a start. He sort of hasn't had the minutes I thought he would have, especially with Cash injured. Carlos could do with a bit of a confidence boost after Saturday, so he could do with a good solid, at the game. Swinkles, has always impressed me when we've seen him in the 21s and in pre-season. And he's a good footballer. And I think Gauci is now our number 2. I think we said it in the summer. I think that's what we're going to see happen. So that's a good side. I mean, that front 6 is a Premier League team,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what. Yeah, I was just thinking that while you were talking, like that front 6 there. If you saw that against Ipswich, you'd be like, okay, like
Got a good
no,
chance here, yeah.
no problem
Yeah.
there. So I know we'll probably get a lot of comments about like Mings and stuff, like and touching on Mings. Mings is in first team training as of last week, wasn't he? And I imagine he's been doing a lot of stuff. Is there any way that you think he does come on for, say, 5 at the end to just get back into like a little bit of a rhythm, or do you think we won't see him for a bit? And do you think, how far away do you think Kamara is? Because they're both back now, fully training with the team.
Well, I don't think we see either of them in this game. Looking at our fixtures coming up, we've obviously got Wycombe, Ipswich, Bayern, then United, and then there's a period from the 6th of October we play Man United to the 19th of October when we come back against Fulham away. So that's an almost 2-week break. So we've got 4 games to navigate here: League Cup, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League. So 4 games in the next, 24th to the 6th. So in 2 weeks, again, it's a really, really intense period of game. So I think they've both been earmarked to probably play some kind of behind doors friendly in that break, that 2-week international break. That would be my best guess, with a view to starting to integrate them. Hopefully, if we get through against Wycombe, we'll have another League Cup game to look forward to. And I would think that's probably when they'll be earmarked for first team, returns. And
Yeah,
it is utterly futile, in my opinion, to bring either of them players back currently with how we've started the season. We don't need them back right now. They're going to be much more needed later in the season.
yeah,
So it's almost worthwhile holding them off too much to make sure that when they are back, they are
yeah,
fully fit, 100% fully fit, and can help us when we are really going to need them over Christmas into the new year, when fixtures really do start stacking up. And hopefully we're going to go deep in the League Cup and the FA Cup, still in the Champions League. So we're going to need all the bodies we can.
yeah. Makes sense, Justin. It makes sense. Right. Score prediction then. I'll go 4-0. 4-0. We how we play and how we are, we should do really well in this game. So hopefully it's nice, comfortable, nice watch for us. What are you going with?
Definitely. I'll go for a repeat of the 8-3. Why not?
Oh, really? Oh, God, Justin.
No, we'll go. I'm happy with it. I just want to get through. It'd be lovely to score a few goals and go through, but these games notoriously don't work out like that, do they? They're
Yeah,
going to be massively up for it. They're going to be flying
yeah,
into us. Probably be a tight first half. We might get a goal ahead or something. Then I think they'll tire as the game goes on, which is what we are very, very good at now. We saw that against Wolves. We saw that against Everton. We are relentless. We just keep going and going and going, and we wear teams out, and then we come strong at the end. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 2, 3 or 4-0, yeah. I
love
will take
it.
any of
Right.
those scores.
Right, Justin's going to go now and do a bit of research on all these players that he's not got right. And Villa fans, let me know in the comment section how you got on. And yeah, comment your thoughts up the Villa, and see you. Next one will be the reaction after the game. So stay tuned for that. Up the Villa.
Not the